Welcome to the spring town elections candidate meet and greet. My name is Janet Providakis. Normally we would have these types of meet and greets over at the Ayer Police Station's conference room where you could meet the candidates and ask them the questions. Well, this year, because of the pandemic, we plan on doing this through Zoom and have it as a Zoom session. These sessions are going to be broadcasted on Channel 8 as well as on the Ayer Public Access Corporation's website, ayerpublicaccess.org. Now, we asked the 9 uncontested candidates that are on the ballot if they would like to participate. 6 said yes, 3 said no. So today, we've got the final one who went ahead and said yes, and that's Scott Houde, who is going ahead and running for the select board. I'm going to give him a little time to tell. Oh, Scott, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Jana, and thanks for organizing this, and thank you to APAC for facilitating the Zoom and getting this information out for all of the voters. Appreciate it.
Yeah, they've been a blessing, I tell you. And it's like, oh, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then afterwards go into why you're going to go ahead and run for that office.
Sure. So I've been in town. My wife and I moved here back in 1999, so we've been in town for about 22 years. In that time, we have had 3 children. We've raised them. My youngest girls are graduating in the spring from Ayer Shirley Regional High School.
Nice.
Yes, time does fly very quickly.
Yeah.
Just overall, I've been involved in the town going back to about 2009. I joined the finance committee at that point, and I served on the finance committee for about 10 years, including about 7 or 8 years as the chairman of the finance committee. My goals that I worked through on the finance committee was really providing information to town meeting around the budget process. That was my driving force on the finance committee. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I started to realize I was losing traction on kind of the final items to bring that visibility to the budget process to the voters and the taxpayers. So I decided to run for the select board 3 years ago and was elected to the seat that I have right now. In the last 3 years, I've had a lot of support from Town Hall to get the budget information out there. We now do budget public forums ahead of time, so people go into town meeting with information that they can make educated decisions, they can ask educated questions, and also we've initiated a budget book, which was honestly a dream of mine about 10 years ago. It was a lot of work for the staff at Town Hall, but they put up with me and they put out a great product. I'm coming to the end of my first term, and 3 years ago I originally said, well, take it 3 years at a time, never looking to do this for too long. And I still feel like I have some work that I want to do over the next 3 years.
All right. What are some of those items that you want to get accomplished in the next 3 years?
Well, the biggest item is looking at Devons. Disposition for Devons is supposed to be scheduled for 2033. Mass Development did come back a couple of years ago and say that they would be open to finalizing disposition sooner than that if Ayer, Shirley, and Harvard could come to a common agreement on what that would look like. Harvard has a local committee that they've put together to look at their options. Shirley, I believe, is in the stage Ayer is at, where we're putting together our committees and just trying to get that groundwork going. Initially, this committee was supposed to get rolling last year, but with COVID, we took a step back, and given all the protocols around meetings and the limitations of Zoom, we decided that we were going to hold off until after the pandemic. So with the next 3 years, I really hope to, particularly this year, I want to get that committee going and start outlining what we need to look at, what information we need to analyze, and start working with Janice Livingston, another member of the select board who sits on the regional Devons committee that's meeting with Mass Development. The other item is really it's just around the schools and capital projects for the schools. So this past week, the field project did pass, which is great. Very happy for that, and very happy to be a part of that final group that put together a project that was able to pass funding in Shirley. And I think the next item for us is really looking at a elementary school, either upgrade or replacement, see what our options are. And then in the background after an elementary school is the senior center. We did have a proposal that we put to town meeting last year. It was voted down. A couple of reasons, which I fully understand. One was the economy, given the pandemic, but also the location. A lot of people had issues over that. So I think that there's still a lot of work to do, and I'm ready to roll my sleeves up for another 3 years.
All right, that sounds great. You see a real good future for the town of Ayer?
I do. It's interesting when I joined the finance committee years ago, I did so because I felt we were at a crossroads as a community. We were about 10 years removed from Devon's closing, and I felt we were in almost an identity crisis of what we were and where we were going to go and what we wanted to be. And we've made some great strides. I think I've had the pleasure of working with some wonderful people throughout the whole community who care about the town and the people in it. And, my goal has always been to just build a better community for my kids to call home. And I think with some great individuals, I've been able to move that needle and help accomplish that. And I think our future is very bright. I think we have just a great infrastructure. We have a solid financial foundation that we can build a good community on.
All right. Well, I do have to agree with you because it's amazing on the individuals that I've been able to work with in this town. So it's like, oh, all right. Do you want to leave us with any other final recap? Vote for me, right?
I guess I'll offer this. It's a wonderful community. I love our town, and I think that it has a lot to offer, and it has a lot more to offer. When you look at the wonderful people that you and I have both been able to work with over the years, I mean, there are more people like that out there, and there are lots of boards and committees that have openings. Together we can build something great. And I really would love to have some new blood come in and, just take a chance, step up, get involved as much as you can, because even a little bit of involvement helps other people a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do have to agree about that. It's like it doesn't take, meeting like every month. You can get on those committees that meet even once a year. So it's just so that you get to go ahead and find out a little bit more about the background of Ayer. So I do have to agree.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Right. Well, Scott, I definitely thank you for this. I just want to remind people that this interview is due to the fact that there's going to be a spring town election on May 11th. The polls open up at 7 in the morning and close at 8. It's already too late because this is after May 5th. To get any type of early ballot. I have to put that in for Susan. But if you wanted to go ahead and head down there, like I say, the polls open at 7 and close at 8. And say thank you to Scott, and as well as thank you to APAC for being able to throw this all together. Scott and team, we really do appreciate it. All right, take care, and I'll see you guys around town.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.